concerned because 50% of Americans are broke. Inflation's going to wipe us out. I've been saying to people, silver is still 50% its all-time high. Of $50 is $25. But the question is, if a can of tuna hits $25, what does silver go to? And that's what I'm concerned about. And every year, every time you talk to me, Danielle, I wish I had better news. But it gets worse. It just gets worse. My biggest concern, Danielle, with Russia and China are ganging up on us. As we all know, America produces nothing anymore. We produce bubbles, we just blow air bubbles. So we now have this bubble in real estate and stocks and bonds. And then when Biden took the Keystone pipeline, XL pipeline off, just wiped us out here. Inflation goes up, and the average American doesn't have $1,000. 40% of Americans don't have $1,000. And so when inflation goes up, we're going to wipe out 50% of the U.S. population. And that is when revolution starts. And so if and when, and it will come down, the stock market crashes, the 401k, the old guys like me are toast. We don't have a retirement. Our pensions are bust. So what we have are three things is our treasury is out of control. We've lost it. Our entitlements out of control. And now we're at war in the Defense Department. So our debt to GDP is out. So every time I talk to Danielle, I said, I wish I could have some good news. So that's why I did the tuna can to a silver eagle comparison. We're in trouble.
Yeah, and that really does help put things in perspective. And, you're an advocate of protecting yourself. We've spoken about this in the past, about gold, silver, you like Bitcoin, you like Ethereum. A new one that you've added is Solana. Now, I know that there's some people advocating that Solana is the next Bitcoin, but why did you add this now? Why do you like it?
As we all know, there's insiders to every deal. I don't have any stocks. I don't invest in the stock market, but they're my companies on the stock market. So the best deals are always done early. So when people say, do you invest in Bitcoin? Yes, when it was $6,000. So Solana is still early, and it's got a possibility. It's a long shot. It's the same as a can of tuna. A can of tuna may be worth more than Solana. We've got to know what's real today. And that's what I'm saying. We have the weak leadership in world history. America's in serious trouble. So I want to find out what's real. And China and Russia are now ganging up on us. We went to Venezuela and Iran to buy oil from them. And this guy Biden cuts off our oil supply. Well, that's if they go to the government crypto, the government Bitcoin, or whatever they call it.
Right.
They'll trace.
Coin. Right.
It's Big Brother at that point. They're going to be knowing everything you're doing. So, Daniela, for years, I've been buying those grain canisters of silver coins because the government can't trace them. I can use them for money. So I can go anywhere in the world with a silver coin and spend it. I can go with a gold coin and spend it without being traced. Not that I'm hiding anything. I'm just sick and tired of this government. I don't trust them. As I said, if Hunter Biden's laptop disappears in FBI custody, we have a serious internal problem here. And so that's why I tongue-in-cheek, tweeted that I'd rather have a can of tuna right now than a silver coin, just to get ridiculous because I can eat tuna. I cannot eat that silver coin. I can spend it. Well, always remember, America has stopped producing products. We produce bubbles. Now, the good thing about a bubble is when they burst, everything goes on sale. And so in 2008, I waited till about 2010. I borrowed $300 million because debt is money, as you know, after 71. And I began buying real estate at bargain prices. So just recently, the repo market inverted again, which means we're going down. It means recession's ahead. But my concern is now revolution, because when people can't afford to eat tuna, we're going to have rioting. So it's a whole different type of bubble burst. When Biden took us off the pipeline, oil prices went up. Oil produces fertilizer. And when fertilizer is no longer cheap, people can't produce food. And the average American has nothing. 40% of Americans have nothing. Inflation is going to make them very upset. A stock market crash will bring down the baby boomers. So we're in serious, serious trouble here. So I'm just being ridiculous in my tweets because it's better than listening to Biden. That I'd rather have a can of tuna right now. That's what I'm saying, is that at least I can eat it. Communists always kill civilians. And that's what people don't realize. And as a Marine, they sent kids and women after us. So a lot of my friends who came back with PTSD, and you can see it in the Ukraine today, they're not hitting, Russia's not hitting military targets, they're hitting civilian targets. And when you understand communism, and this is my latest book here, it's called The Capitalist Manifesto, I am a student of communism. So this here is, when 65 I had to read this book here, 48 pages, one of the most influential books in world history. But nobody's read the book. They don't know what Marx said. But what Marx said, they had to have the poor get poorer and the middle class come down. And that was the recipe for revolution. And I see Biden doing it when he took the Keystone XL pipeline and took us off of it, and oil prices went up. Now the thing is, Danielle, I got richer because I produce oil. I don't invest in oil. I don't invest in Shell or Exxon and all that. I invest in oil wells. So when oil went from $30 a barrel to $130 a barrel, I got richer, but I also got more concerned for my fellow human beings. They can't afford to live at $130 a gallon a barrel oil. And so that's why in my tweets, I just get ridiculous about it. Hopefully somebody will listen. Read this book. That's what he said. This book was in 1848. And he says communism would come in two stages to America. First would be socialism, and that happened in 1930 when the Frankfurt School of Germany sent teachers to Columbia University, Teachers College. And then in 1968, when I was in school in New York, that's when the rioting in the college campuses began. They led to Kent State and Berkeley and Woodstock and all this. And then the second stage would take place, and in my opinion, it's in this humble opinion, in 2020 when they took down President Trump. That was the corruption of our media. That's communism. I hate to say that, but I am a U.S. Marine, 2 tours in Vietnam. And I've seen if you understand that communists kill their own people. Mao killed his own people. Stalin killed their own people. Americans try and stop that from happening. And then our own press, I came back from Vietnam in 73, I got spit on, hit by eggs, called a baby killer. And I'm still a little bit bitter about that, but it prepared me for today. Our school system should teach us about money.
Do you see a major shift happening?
It's the end of America. We have communists, as a Marine would say, inside the wire. They're inside our government, they're inside our school systems, they're inside Hollywood, and they're inside Silicon Valley. And that's why I wrote this book here, The Capitalist Manifesto. I said, we've got to fight back. And we fight back with information and education, not weapons. I know I'm getting richer and richer and richer because I own gold mines, I own oil producers. I don't own stocks. I'm a producer, not a bubble maker. When Biden cut down the XL pipeline, he made me a rich man because oil went from $30 a barrel to $130 a barrel. I produce oil. I produce gold. I produce silver. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't play the stock market. But I am concerned about my fellow human being. I don't care what you are, white, left, pink, green, pink. I am concerned because 50% of Americans are broke. Inflation is going to wipe us out.